Hey,
Yeah.
Greg.
What
So,
up? What up?
so second fight of the pandemic. Just really how's the experience now? This time as opposed to in May.
One more time.
Sorry, I said it's your second fight of the pandemic. How is the experience with the process better this time as opposed to in May?
All around, both times were amazing, man. When you're part of a well-oiled machine, dude, things just go the way they're supposed to. But this time it seems like they got everything in order. Everything's running a little bit more smooth, and of course, I get to come to Vegas and hang out. So, it's a awesome transition all the way around for me.
This we're used to seeing you be quite active. This is a bit of a big gap between fights for you. Can I ask just what have you been working on in the last few months that you can reveal?
Everything, everything, man. It's not a surprise. Prince of War as a fighter always comes back as a whole different fighter, and that's what you're going to get, whether it's a 2 month break or a 22 day wait. But I'm super sad about not being able to fight. Back to back to back. A couple things happened. A couple opponents pulled out, but we took that time to just enhance on my overall MMA IQ. And I think we haven't had a lot of time to build on that, and that time allowed us to add on that and add a couple of people to the team that I feel like are a necessity.
Final question from me: just what are your general thoughts on Maurice Greene as an opponent?
Good guy, tall, lanky, got a lot of weapons. Feel like he's an ideal opponent for going in there and putting on an entertaining show.
Thank you, Greg.
Yes, sir.
We will take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with the Four to Win podcast.
Good afternoon, Greg. Nice talking to you.
Yes, sir. Pleasure.
They say you learn more from your defeats than you do from your victories. Under that logic, what would you say you learned after the fight with Volkov?
Yeah, that one was a learning experience for sure, man. I think I learned how to be a fighter. You know, that was one of my first fights that I had to actually make adjustments in fight. That I had to deal with pain, deal with broken hand, all kinds of different things, and like just pull through adversity and make adjustments. And that's an aspect in fighting that I really had not been introduced to yet. It was always gameplay and it was always go out execute. A lot of my fights were quick, and that was one of the biggest 3 round fights, no inhaler, that I've had so far. And and I think that was just the biggest takeaway right there. Just the complexities of being an MMA fighter and how to work and persevere on the move.
Yeah, under the same topic, every time we see you, you're making huge improvements. Do you have any new improvements, new surprises for this fight?
Come on, no, that's not even a question. You know for a fact I got everything in the bag for you, man. It's a Prince of War production, man. There's no way that I can't. We've been especially with what, like 6 months off, dude. We've been in the bag, entertaining in ways that I probably won't even pull out this fight. So just know that in the future we got some crazy stuff going on, man. I'm not human. I'm a special, one of the best, sickest athletes on the planet. I just think that me coming out and not showing improvements and adjustments that are, leaps and bounds is not enough. So trust, I got you.
After 4 years of starting your professional career, which things keep being as hard as in the beginning?
Showing up every day, man. This is a grind different than I'm used to, simply because there's nobody making sure I got a schedule in front of me and I got to go to this practice and this treatment and this assignment. So it's just grueling, waking up, getting ready to go to wrestling practice and workouts and stuff like that, man. Just consistently staying on every single detail because if you're not a well-rounded fighter, you will be taken advantage of, and that's something that I'm starting to learn.
I see. I appreciate your time, sir. Best of luck on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
We will take the next questions from Danny Segura with MMA Junkie.
Hey, Greg. This will be your 10th professional fight here coming up this weekend. I guess where are you at professionally in this game? Like, where are you at in your development? Where do you think you're at?
I'm reaching assassin level, man. I had some valleys to get over. I'm not gonna lie. I had to go through some tough times with especially the last two fights. Just with the last one I didn't have to, but I prolonged it just to get the time in the ring and to actually fight the fights, and then Volkov having to figure stuff out and being there with an assassin, as you saw last weekend, real assassin. And man, honestly, hold on. What's the question one more time?
Like, where do you feel you're at as far as your development? Like, what kind of stage in your career you're at now that you're 10 fights in, pretty much?
Honestly, I would say if I was a C level fighter before, or even a D level, I would say I was a D level fighter before. I moved up to like the B class, man. And I've added some tools and I've added some knowledge to where I'm about to start finishing fights and headhunting. Looking for a number beside my name. It's time.
Yeah. And when you started around your 10th professional fight, did you more or less think you'd be sort of where you're at in your career right now, as far as not only within the UFC, but also, your skill set?
Oh, for sure, man. And it's the nature of the beast for people to forget that before 2.5 years ago, I didn't know how to throw a punch.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to throw a leg kick. So I'm so far ahead of where I was supposed to be and where I thought I was going to be that we're in a whole different we're in a whole different planet. This is a whole different organism. It's just it's unhuman. So
Okay. Yeah. So safe to say you're more than satisfied with your progression so far.
more than satisfied, but I wouldn't even use satisfied. I'm more than happy. I'm so unsatisfied. I want to take it up a couple of notches because I'm starting to realize to get to that gold level, man. By this time next year, we need to be a top rank level. We need to be top 10 talent. We need to be moving as if I've been here for 10 years.
Yeah, that was my next question. Like, how much longer do you think fans will have to wait till, I guess, we see you sort of reach a level where you're among the best heavyweights? So you're top 10. You think a year from now you'll be there?
Honestly, I've thought about that a lot too, and I've gotten a lot of questions and talk about my opponents and this, that, and the other, man. But Maurice Greene was just ranked, guys, and I just
Yeah.
fought the number 4 heavyweight in the world. That just, what I'm saying. He dropped back down after our fight and just assassinated another top ranked guy. Like the people that I'm fighting are a joke. So I think not even a year. Like in 6 months, of course, I want to go on this whole most active fighter in the world um, tour again next year and knock out 6 or 7 fights. If Dana, holler at me, please, and improve that. But I think we could do it in like the next 6 months, man, for sure.
Okay. And lastly, I believe for your last fight, you sort of switched things up and you didn't train at ATT. I believe you trained in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Where did you do this training camp, and can you give us a status sort of where you're at as far as the team is concerned?
No, I've been an American top team all the way up until this last camp, until this one right here. And, COVID kind of pushed us into that position to where the gym was closed and I really couldn't get my coaches in. And, they were protecting their guys and trying to get people out. And I had to go ahead and make a move to where I could get more individual attention, man. And I went and solicited some of the greatest names. That's what I do. I go put myself in the toughest positions and I find the best people to work with me and I meet the standard. And that's what I've done with finding Rashad or being accepted by Rashad Evans as a student, and going back to Dean Thomas as a student, and I got a new boxing coach, Gary, and I got a great core team, in Michael Saltos and a couple other guys that were just holding me down. And I feel like being an individual and getting individual attention, and that is what was the best way to go. So that's what I've been doing it.
Yeah. So your camp stayed in Florida.
Yeah, definitely still in Florida.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. All right. Best of luck on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, boss.
We will take the next questions from Sue McDonough with Sports Kita.
Greg, how you doing?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, thank you. So last year you had 5 fights in the octagon. This year around things have been a little different. You'll be fighting for the second time. Are you hoping to regain that frequency of fights, or are you happy with this current schedule, like going 2 to 3 fights a year?
I'm so unhappy with that, man. My biggest goal right now is to handle this fight. Of course, Maurice Greene is not a joke. He's a very game opponent. So I want to go out there and handle this fight. But after this fight, man, I want to stay in quarantine if possible. And I've voiced it a lot in my career that I want to be the most active fighter. I'm down for this. This is what I do. 16 games a year. This is my style. So I want to get back to that. I want to break some more records, get back out there and see if I can be the most active heavyweight in UFC again.
And for this fight, did you have to make any big adjustments amid the pandemic?
Yeah, we made a lot of adjustments. We ended up. I moved out the dorm this year. Had to get a whole new team, put together my team, and figure out how to put together a camp. Outside of the only place I've known for 2.5 years, and had to basically maneuver around COVID. So it's been a lot of adjustments, but I feel like they've been good adjustments and they've been good for my development.
Okay, and what were your thoughts on Alexander Volkov's fight last week his win over Walteris from last week?
Those are two good opponents, man. I love watching Volkov, and it's interesting to see assassins move in the way that they move, man. But I saw a point in where the Creed and Drago fight, Drago 2 can happen. That's me and him running it back for a ranked spot. And of course, I got to do some work. I got to get a number by my name and take out some people. But I was really excited, man. I saw my opportunity to get in there and fight the best. He's climbing the ladder. He's going to be at his best, which he is. He came back in a dramatic way and looking like a powerhouse. So I saw me fighting him in about a year. That's what I saw.
Okay, so last question from me. Almost a year ago, you said that your grappling stands at a 4 out of 10, and you rated yourself as a 7 out of 10 as an overall fighter. So now, fast forward to October of 2020, what would you give yourself as a rating out of 10?
I'll say my grappling's about 5.5, maybe 6, and as a fighter, still a 7. I'm not satisfied enough with my full and complete game to where I can say that I'm an 8 or a 9 or a 10, just simply because I cherish those kind of numbers. I cherish the best. I hold the best in the world at a high esteem because I've been there in my own way, and I would never go that far as to say that I was something that I'm not. So I think a 7 would still be where I am as a fighter, just in a different aspect. I've gained ground in a lot of other ways.
Well, look forward to return this week, sir, and good luck for your fight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We will take our next questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Greg. Obviously, you've been an athlete your entire life and a multi-sport athlete before you eventually chose football. But I'm curious, now that you've had a couple years in MMA and you sound like you really love it, would you say you love MMA more than maybe you love football, or are they still kind of even in your head?
Ooh, I mean, I'm about probably to say they're still even, man. Just because there's nothing like the ball. There's nothing like that pigskin, putting on pads, camaraderie, this, that, and the other. I want to get into it, but I might tear up. I don't want y'all to see me like that. But as far as MMA goes, dude, I'm falling in love with it. I would say it's taking the number one spot simply because it's that new love. We just met, just took her out to dinner, just met her parents. I love everything about her. Definitely about to pop the question that I don't know how to do it yet. This is my baby for sure.
Considering how many years you played football and you love football, is it kind of crazy to think about finding something like MMA that you're falling in love with all over again? Considering you put so much of your life into one thing, now it seems like you kind of got it's Greg Hardy 2.0.
Oh yes, sir, for sure. And just to let you know, there's a 4.0 coming too, man. We've definitely not stopped the train. But you hit it right on the head. You hit the nail right on the head, man. I put so much in my life and my energy into football. That's where my passion comes from. It is my life. It has been my life, and it will never stop being my life as far as the things that it has instilled in me. But like I said, man, this new MMA kick is something unworldly. The 2.0 G Hardy is going to attack it like a new beast. After going through such a molding with football and having it be my life. I know the plan now. I know the lay of the land. I know how to be a sportsman, and that's what I want to bring to MMA. And that's why it's just so exciting every single day, waking up and getting to it.
You mentioned earlier, of course, American Top Team, phenomenal team. So I know you love those guys, but Rashad Evans has been a guy who's kind of become a mentor. We saw it a lot, and Kamaru Usman talks about it all the time, how he kind of became, Rashad's little brother, and he kind of brought him up under him, and we've seen what Kamaru has done in the sport. What has it been like working with Rashad, and thus far, what's been the best advice he's given you?
It's been unreal, man. It's kind of been, speaking of football experiences, in ball. My whole career, I've only elevated myself until I've been around the best, and I've gotten to speak with the best. The best defensive ends, the best coaches, the best quarterbacks, the best everything. And to be at that point now where I'm at a level to where somebody would even consider, somebody like Rashad Evans would even consider coaching me, man. It was flooring. So being around him was crazy. So I would say the craziest thing that the advice that I've gotten and the craziest things he said to me so far is that I have it. You know, the ability's there. All I need is the want, and I need to listen. And that's what really stood out to me, that this dream that I put together is actually coming to fruition, and it's more than a possibility. And then I would say it's boundless, man. Having somebody like that in your corner with the knowledge and the ability to go all the way and maintain it is something that you can't replace, man. It's unworldly.
Absolutely. Last thing for me, when you came into UFC, everyone knew you as a tremendous athlete. You had knocked out, so many of your first few opponents that everyone assumed, well, Greg Hardy's going to be a go big or go home kind of guy. You're either going to knock somebody out or you're going to get knocked out. That hasn't happened. Shown. I mean, you went 3 rounds with the number 7 heavyweight. So early in your career, you came out the last one. And I know you would have loved a knockout, but you ended up getting a decision win, which you have to have those. Like, do you feel like you are starting to show more and more of who you are and who you're eventually going to become as a fighter?
Yes, sir. And that's something that Rashad has given me too, man, the ability to paint my picture. And I've said that for the longest time. You guys have known Greg Hardy for the longest time. I'm going to put myself in the hardest positions. I'm not going to take the easy way out. And that's what I've done by, taking those decision rounds and going in there and taking those walk-off fights and believing that I was going to win without a doubt. And I think that, it's going to develop into something very deadly. I think it's going to developing me into something that can't be stopped. It's a locomotive that's gaining speed.
Thank you, Greg.
Yes, sir.
And we will take our last set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Ooh, Ecuador.
Hi, Greg. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What up, baby?
Everything's okay, man. Thanks for asking. Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is, you fought against Volkov, and he fought this Saturday against a ranked fighter, and he finished him. And against you, he got a unanimous decision. Do you think this result shows that you're one of the toughest opponents or guys in this division, and that you can give problems to anyone in the heavyweight division?
100%, man. And that's a great question. I think everybody should be asking that question. Walt Harris is a dominant person. He's already finished a couple of people in the top 10. And Volkov did finish him, and I think it was in dramatic fashion. So what does that say about Greg Hardy? And that's the question I want people to ask. I want them to know that I'm not a joke, man. Being one of the best athletes on the planet doesn't mean that, you are gifted and endowed with some special ability. It means that I have a set of cojones that are unmatched, and I'm one of the most dangerous people on the planet.
Okay, I get it. So, what do you think is the most dangerous area of Maurice Greene, or which weapon is the most dangerous he has?
I wouldn't say that he has a dangerous weapon. I would say that his ability to use all of the weapons are his most dangerous aspect. He can call upon a lot of different things. The ground game. He's got kicks. He's got punches. He's got length. He's got speed. So it's going to be dealing with the combination of everything that's going to be the trick.
Okay, what's your prediction for the fight?
Oh, I'm going to win, and it's definitely not going to go to a decision, man. We're gonna brawl this one out. I'm gonna have some fun.
I get it. So, if you get the W, do you have a opponent on your head, or what?
Well, yeah, we're about to go headhunt. I seen I seen Cyril Gaines. I don't know if it's true that he got a little number by his name. Tiavasa. It's time. It's time to go headhunting for some numbers. After this one, if I do what I say that I'm going to do, which I am, I think people need to start taking notice, and those are the guys that I need to start taking out. Tiberium, all
Okay,
of them.
get it. So, would you like to send a message to your Ecuadorian fans?
Yes, love you guys. Shout out. Can't wait to get down there. As soon as this COVID stuff lifted, Me and my guy Michael Saltos, we're coming down. My coach is from Ecuador. We're gonna come down, show y'all some love, man. Thank y'all for supporting me all the time. I want to let y'all know that I got y'all back too, man. Shout out from the Prince.
Okay, thank you very much, Greg, and good luck on your fight.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling.
Thank you so much, Greg. That is all the time we had for you, sir.